So make sure that your application requirements require blockchain features. That means the flow diagram that I have mentioned, you go through that flow diagram, answer every question and whether the blockchain is required or not, just to decide it. Then blockchain suitable for decentralized problems. Application involve peer-to-peer transaction. Applications that worked beyond the boundaries of trust among unknown peers. Applications that require verification, validation, and recording of transactions over a global time and immutable ledger. Applications involve autonomous operations guided by rules and policies. If these 5 are there, then they can be coded using the smart contracts. Make sure you need a smart contract on blockchain for your application. Smart contracts are visible to all participants, whatever the code you have written, and that can be executable by all participants in the network. The reason is every time whenever the contract is instantiated and the functions to be called, that code will be executed on all EVMs. So smart contracts are visible to all participants on the chain and can be executed on all full nodes in the network. So smart contracts are needed when collective agreements of rules and policies are required. So whenever in the problem statement you have the rules and policies, those rules and policies can be written in terms of smart contract business logic. Decisions and problems must be recorded. So whatever the decision, like updating of the voting process or the updation of some record, these kind of things must be recorded on the chain, and problems must be recorded. Smart contract is not for single node computation. Obviously, whenever you run the smart contract, it is not belong to your node, but the code will be executed on all the peer nodes. So that reason you must be very careful in designing the smart contract. Keep the smart contract code simple, coherent, and auditable. So you always follow that. Don't make the contract code very clumsy. You keep this contract code as simple as possible. Should not include redundant data and non-useful functions. So if you have redundant data, that will become a entry point for any attacker to insert malicious data and get the information from your smart contract. And non-useful functions. If the functions are not useful and made as public, the attackers may also make use of those functions. Make smart contracts contract functions auditable by using custom function modifiers instead of inline if-else statement. So that means it is always recommended to develop the code using modifiers. Keep only necessary data on the smart contract. That means every information don't keep it on the smart contract, provided only the key element like transaction ID or person ID or the voter address, these kind of things which are very key information with which you can get majority of the data. That data only, which is the key data, that data only to be placed on the blockchain. Next one is keep only necessary, separate on-chain and off-chain data. That is first before design, you need to separate what is the on-chain data and off-chain data. This we have seen in the multi-level marketing smart contract design. What is the off-chain data and what is the on-chain data, and based on that you need to design the functions. Use appropriate data types. Use appropriate data types. That means you should be very careful in designing the data types or mentioning the data types. In ballot smart contract, use number of proposals instead of name. That means don't use name, because name as string. String require more gas points than the integer. So use the number of proposals. That is how many proposals, first proposal, second proposal, third proposal, like that, how many proposals, instead of name for it. It is because the string is dynamic. Top level applications may map ID with names. Top level application means that is the front end application. Off chain application, which is a web application that you write, that may map ID with names. Anyhow, you will mention a database where ID can be used as a primary key and corresponding names will be there. EVM has a 256-bit processor. Make sure using of integer arithmetic for computational needs. If 256-bit processor means it can perform 256 addition, these kind of things. So make sure using of integer arithmetic for computational needs. uint 8 to 256-bit data type. You may use it. Understand public visibility modifiers for the data. Always try to keep modifiers as public visibility, and irrespective of a variable visibility, each variable can be visible to all participants on the chain. So whenever the public visibility is there, that variables will be visible to all participants on the chain. If a variable is explicitly declared as public, then Solidity compiler generates a getter setter method for it by default. So if the variable that you declare as private, you need to write get set methods on your own in the Solidity code. But if it is public by default, if it is public, the variable is public, then directly the Solidity compiler itself will generate the set and get methods. Public data internally accessed via variable name, but externally via getter and setter functions. Getter functions generated by Solidity compiler. Public visibility example: contract, my C. uint public data is equal to 33. Here data was declared which is as public. So how to get the data from other contract? So just you simply say instantiate the my contract, my C, and using my C object dot data. Here we have not defined any function here, but when you declare public variable, by default get method will be generated by the Solidity compiler. So data within the brackets, just like this, bracket open, bracket close. So it will give you the value of data. So this is the way by default it will be generated. You need to write the data get method for this. If it is private, then you may write get method. Maintain a standard order for different function types in the smart contract. The order may be constructor, fallback functions, external functions, public functions, internal functions, private functions, and constant functions at last. So always you start with the constructor, then write the fallback functions if any, then external functions, then define the public functions, then define internal functions, private functions, then finally constant functions at last. Functions can have any number of modifiers. Visibility modifier should come before custom defined modifier. So visibility modifiers, whatever you make the visibility, like public visibility, private visibility, this kind of visibility modifiers must come before the custom defined modifiers. That means before defining the custom defined modifiers, you need to define the visibility modifiers. Multiple modifier functions should be written by white space separation, like only by customer, space only by so and so, space only by so and so, like that. Modifier functions to be called based on dependency. So these are the 3 points that you need to remember before the modifiers. And next one is use Solidity defined payable modifier when sending a value. So function deposit payable. Whenever anyone calls the deposit, automatically the necessary transaction fee will be deducted from the initiator's account. Function register address sender payable. So these are the functions where you can declare modifier as a payable modifier, so that by default that related amount will be deducted from the initiator's account. Pay attention to order of functions in the code. Just like as you know, this is the function we define, just like that roughly you don't do that, but you please maintain the order, that like this is the order, first to second, seventh. These are the order you are supposed to maintain in the code. Use modifier declaration for implementing rules. Use function access modifiers for implementing rules policies, and regulations, implementing common rules for all who may access functions, rules for the administrator, rules for the normal users, rules for the accountant, like that. Declaratively validating application's specific function, providing auditable elements to allow verification of correctness of a smart contract. So auditable elements means like asset statement and modifier related statements are some conditions. So where you can pass some parameters and can test whether the code is working correctly or not. Use events for notification. Events can carry at most 3 index parameters. Like events especially used for recording the log onto the transactions, transaction record, so that it can be fetched and will be shown onto the user interface. Use secure, beware of now time variable. Now means always will give the current standard UTC time. So with which the transaction, how much time the module should be alive, this kind of things can be decided. So beware of now time variable. Use secure hashing for protecting data. So you may use the default functions like KECCAC. This is the algorithm, one algorithm. SHA-256, RIP, EMD. So these are the various algorithms, by default algorithms, where you can get the hashing of the protected data. You may use whatever the function you want for protecting the data. Beware of static warnings in Remix IDE. Whatever the static warnings you will get, you try to rectify those warnings. Otherwise, they may become the bugs with which the attackers may attack the smart contract system. So these are the 5 best practices, that is 5 slides which is dedicated for the best practices of smart contracts.